Hey guys, okay, we got phase one done. Got the Duramax out, and that was a lot bigger job than I thought. I got about 11 hours into that with some interruption. I didn't think it would take near that long, but it's my first time to do this, so you got to expect a little delay and just indecision. And the other thing was, those top three bolts on the transmission, on the bell housing, are a son of a gun to get to. We had to unbolt the back of the transmission from the cross member and jack it up, which pushed the motor in the front down and the transmission, the bell housing, forward, and opened up enough gap right in there to sneak your hands and a small wrench into. But other than that, that was by far the worst deal. Plus, I'm working basically with a redneck shop here. I don't have many tools or facilities. You can see I'm just under my carport, and it's raining again. Kind of funny, the first day we did this, the first video, it was raining, and we're in Texas and it never rains here, but I guess I need to work on trucks more often. Man, I don't know if this motor is going to get anywhere close to fitting. When you look at that differential and where it's setting with the transmission, and then how far the bell housing is up into the compartment, I don't know what the best angle is to. It's kind of hard to tell, but that's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches anyway. But anyway, we're committed now. We're going to do it. And got the 5.9 sitting right there, hooked up to the hoist and ready to set her in spot and see what we get. So I think I'll include it on this video if I can figure out how to edit, and we'll just run them back to back. So we're going to set her in and see what we get. See y'all in a bit. Okay guys, here's the first dry fit of the 5.9 in where the Duramax used to be. I've got it sitting in there as close as I can, and it's pretty well off in every direction, which I figured. I didn't know we would be this far forward, but I have about 5 inches. You can see the transmission comes up in way into the engine compartment, so about 5 inches there I'm going to be able to go back. And oddly enough, in the front, it's a little further back than I thought it would be, so I'm hoping that right there will get me where I want to be. And I think what I'm going to be able to do to kind of give me a good idea is I'm going to take this cross member bolt right here and come back to here. That's exactly 4.5 inches. So if I can slide that back, I'm going to take the T-case loose and take it out so I don't have to unload the torsion bars yet, just to kind of work with the motor. But I think that's going to get me really close to where I want to be. And after I do that, I'll set the whole core support, and I was able to leave everything in it, so I'll just set it in as a unit. I'll be able to see where I'm setting. Now, I've actually just got the motor setting on everything. You can see it's setting, the oil pan setting on the differential for the front end, and it's actually setting. Now, it's not quite setting on a motor mount there, but in the back, I've got it up pretty close to where it's going to be. So from the, I don't know if you can tell from the, you can see how far my adapter is off the transmission. I need to go about 1.5 inches down and 1 inch over to the right I'm not quite lined up, but I think when we go back that 4 inches, I think the pan's gonna clear. This cross member, it may not, but that's okay, because I think we're gonna have to get a lift kit anyway. And it's definitely gonna get this back here pushed back in behind in here, so I think I'm gonna have to move my motor mount brackets back from this area into this area, but that's okay. I've got some Gen 1 brackets that may let me come up into this area of the block and use them, which I'd rather do instead of setting that support on the back third of the motor. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. So I'm fixing to take that T-case out, pull that transmission backwards, and then set the motor back a little further and see where we're at. So looks good from here. I'm pretty excited about this now, so here we go. Hey guys, I just wanted to make another little video clip to add with the two that I made the other day. Put them all three together, kind of show a complete phase 1. I went ahead and moved that cross member back for the transmission, moved it from the center holes all the way to the back one, and it gained me about 5 3/4 inches. So then I went ahead and put the core support in, set it back up there where it's supposed to go so I could look at everything and see where we were at. I spent about, I don't know, 3 hours yesterday just sitting and looking at it, seeing what all was still in the way, where we were going to have to clear things. And man, I mean, sitting here looking at it, it looks so close, but well, they say a miss is as good as a mile. So yeah, there's a lot of things that have to be moved still. When I moved that bracket back, sucked that transmission back up in under the firewall, it's sitting about 1 inch back in behind it, which was really great. And then slid the motor back as far as it could go, and about 2 inches from meeting up. So there's a tab back in behind on the firewall that held the insulation. It's keeping me from pushing that motor all the way back. I'm about 1.5 inches off of it right now, so probably slide that motor back about another inch, but I'm still going to need, you know, to bring that transmission back up about 1 inch. So I'll come back into the next set of holes up. In the front here, I need 4.5 inches for my electric fans to clear. And down on the balancer, I've got 3 3/4. I was really excited about that because I was really close, but then got to looking, and the radiator doesn't set up straight up and down. Radiator tilts backwards. So at the top, I've only got like 2 3/4. So I've still got to find about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4, something like that, to make everything clear, which means chances are, just because I don't want to tweak this here and tweak that there and move this and move that, I'm probably just going to end up cutting the firewall a little bit, probably about to where that inset is. That's about 1.5 inches. I'm going to have to see what's on the back side of that firewall and see if I can get it. I've talked to some guys that do this for a living, and they say when they do a Chevy, they always doghouse the firewall. So that's an option too. But motor's still sitting on the differential, and I've got to go either down with the motor or up with the transmission about 2 inches. You can see there. So I don't know whether we're going to do suspension lift and drop it all down, or body lift and block the transmission up. But anyway, that's kind of where we are. I just wanted to throw it in and get an overall picture. And there's going to be lots of little things to do, and everything's just so close. Everything's going to have to be spot on. So anyway, it's going to probably be a while before I make another video. Don't get to work on it much during the week, and got some things to do next weekend, so we'll just start plugging away at it and see where we can get, and might be another, I don't know, a couple weeks before we get another video in, but we'll keep working on it and get one when we can. If you want to follow this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. After we get finished with this one, we've got another one to do. We've got an 86, and we've got that truck out there we're going to play with. I just found a $700 4 transmission for it this morning, so that drivetrain is going to be complete. But anyway, as far as this one goes, we're fixing to start pulling it all back apart, start making the next round of tweaks on it, and when we get there, we'll make another video and see where we're at. Thanks for watching, guys.